welcome back from the break. Now, in our In Focus segment, we will delve into a conversation with Ebenezer Odeyose, the overall best performing student of the 60th course bar ceremony. Hello and welcome back to another edition of the In Focus segment with me, Anita Yayo-Agbeku. Today, I have a very, very special person, and he was awarded the overall best student at the 60th court bar celebration. And when I say court bar, you know what that is already. He's a lawyer, and he was the overall best student. I want us to listen to his story, and he's going to inspire us. He's going to also motivate us. And you may be watching and you would want to be a lawyer someday. Maybe this is where you get all the tips that you need. So let's get right into the conversation with Ebenezer Odeyose. Hello, Ebenezer. Yeah, welcome to the In Focus segment.
Thank you, my lady.
Amazing. It's nice having you today.
I'm grateful for having me on your show today.
Right. Can you kindly introduce yourself? Tell us about who Ebenezer is.
All right. Like you mentioned, my name is Ebenezer Odeyose. I am currently a lawyer who got called to the bar in 2023, just on 20th October 2023. That was 2 weeks ago. I grew up in Domahimpu in the Bono region.
Right.
My father is from Domahimpu, and my mother is from Jache, Pramso. And so, by virtue of the matrilineal system, I am an Ashanti. I attended my basic school at St. John's International School, which is situated at Domahimpu. And then I had my junior high school education at Prempeh College. From there, I proceeded to Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Faculty of Law in 2017 and graduated in 2021. And from there, I proceeded on to Ghana School of Law, which I was just recently called to the bar.
Interesting.
So basically, that is Ebenezer Odeyose.
That's really interesting. And so during your educational journey, did you face any challenges, especially with finance?
Oh, yes. I did. I did, especially when I was entering Kwame Nkrumah University Faculty of Law at first. I had, one or two challenges, especially in terms of finance. Yes. So, yeah, you could put it that way.
That's nice. I want to know more about all of this, because pursuing law is not something you just decide to do. You need a lot of support. You need a lot of motivation. You need a lot of interest. So from the beginning, had you always wanted to pursue law?
Oh, personally, I never had the intention of reading law, especially growing up. My reading law came when I completed high school in 2016.
Right.
And I was contemplating on the course to read at the university level. And so personally, I love numbers. And back in high school, I had a lot of interest in economics. And so personally, I wanted to read economics. But then I remember I took a year break to deliberate upon the course to read at the university, because my sister my elder sister prompted me about other courses and other options that I should consider. And so I always say that my decision to read law stems from the fact that it was introduced to me for the first time by my sister.
Nice.
Yes.
For someone who did not have the intention of pursuing law, how do you feel coming out as the overall best student of your year?
Oh, the truth is, this is very normal to me, because this is not the first time in my life that I have been adjudged as the overall best performing student.
Wow.
I remember in 2013 when I was graduating from junior high school, I was the overall best performing student of my class. When I was in Prempeh College too, I sometimes doubled as the best general art student. In fact, I was the general art student, the best general art student throughout my entire stay at Prempeh College. And when I was in second year at Prempeh College, I also doubled as the overall best student of the entire school. And so being adjudged again as the overall best performing student at the Ghana School of Law, for me, it feels normal because this is not the first time I'm feeling this way.
Hey, this means that you've been a Shako, like, over the years. So, yeah, you were coming to say something.
In respect of what you intended to say, as in being a Shako, I do not consider myself as such. All that I know is I love to study, and whatever I do, I put in my very best, no matter the difficulties that I face. So I think those are some of the reasons why at the end of the day I'm being adjudged as the best. But for me personally, I am not the best. I know a lot of people who are better than me, and so I do not, and I will never say that I am the best personally. Yes.
But you're still aiming for higher heights.
Oh, exactly. There are a lot of people who are better than me, and so I want to also better myself to probably see myself in my books on the same level with them. But as it stands now, personally, I am not the best.
Well, if you say so. You mentioned hard work and the fact that you like learning to be some of the things that have brought you to this stage of your life. So apart from these things, what has motivated you? What has been your inspiration over the years? What has kept you going to be able to win or to be awarded the best student of your year 2023 Kotuba?
First, my biggest motivation is God. I always say He's wonderful, and then He's a magnificent God. He's the one who has kept me throughout everything that I do.
Right.
That aside, my second greatest motivation comes from my father. You will never believe it, but my father calls me every morning to give me some 1 or 2 words of encouragement. Since I was a kid till now, even just this morning, I spoke to him.
Okay.
And so, aside God and my father, my biggest motivation has also been that I want to any opportunity that I get to develop my brain. And so anything I get to the extent that it will help me develop my knowledge base, I'm up for it. So basically, those are the 3 key motivations, or those 3 key things that motivate me every day.
Thank you so much for sharing with us. So while in school, did you occupy any leadership role? Because I want to know.
Okay, when I was in Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, during the COVID period, because of the impact of COVID both on the national economy and the academics, we had to set up the interim students representative council. And so as part of those who were leading the team, I was the legal advisor to the interim SRC. In my final year at the Faculty of Law, I was also the judicial chairperson of the faculty. And by virtue of the constitutional provisions, I also doubled as the deputy judicial committee chairperson for College of Humanities and Social Sciences. And so those were the key positions I occupied throughout my entire journey in law school. But when I was in Ghana School of Law, I was not occupying any position, sadly.
Right. You know, many a times we have people saying that studying law, it's a very difficult thing to do. And if you are not motivated enough or you don't have the right support system, you may end up falling along the way. I mean, what is your perception on that? Is law as difficult as people say it is?
Okay. When you say law or when someone says law is difficult, I think it's relative.
Okay.
Um, but for me personally, in terms of the contents or in terms of the materials you have to read, it's voluminous. It's a lot. Every day you have to be reading a case. Every day you have to be reading legislations. You have to be reading opinions of writers, textbooks, and what have you. And because the content seems to be much, it means that you have to dedicate a lot of time for the course.
Right.
But oftentimes, a lot of people are unable to dedicate that much time to reading the law. And so you realize that at the end of the day, you have academic pressures being building upon yourself. And so you, because of how it is, you will be overwhelmed. And that's one of the things that leads to people or coming to the conclusion that the law is difficult. But then in terms of understanding of the law, that is also a different thing.
Right.
In terms of understanding, I see it as you have to know yourself, how you are able to read, how you are able to understand things. Some people like to understand things when they practicalize them. Some people are able to read once and understand. So you have to know yourself and put in much more effort in trying to understand whatever you are doing or whatever you are reading, especially at the law school. Yes, because with law school, if you're unable to understand because you've given yourself so much pressure, you will not be able to appreciate what you are being taught and what is required of you to really study. And so basically, when you say personally, I do not see law as difficult. Right. Just like I do not see any program as difficult. I do not see mathematics as difficult as well, because I'm a huge fan of numbers. But it depends on you dedicating time for the program that you are reading. Right. And I think that's basically it.
Well, you
Just
mentioned that.
Time.
Okay.
Yes, that's all.
Well, you mentioned that sometimes it may be overwhelming. And when something becomes overwhelming, that means that you don't strike a balance between your personal life sometimes and your academical life. Were you able to strike a balance between your academical life and your personal life? Because there is still perception out there that when you are studying law, you don't have to have fun so much. You don't have to do some things. You need to sacrifice some things to be able to get to where you want to be when you're studying law. Is that true? And if you had any experiences like that, you can share with us.
Okay. One thing about the study of the law is about time management. Time management is very, very key. You should know when to study, when to attend lectures. Of course, attending lectures is mandatory for me. You should know when to want to have fun. You should know the level you should go or you may want to go. So basically, it's about time management. And we oftentimes say that the law is a jealous mistress. And in my view, what it means is that indirectly, once you are studying law and once you have decided to read it and read it very well, the law will indirectly replace everything that you love in your life with itself. And so if at first you could, let's say, play video games for 5 hours a day, now you realize that because you have a lot of things to do in terms of the law, you realize that 5 hours, it begins to reduce to, let's say, 2 hours. And as time goes on, you may not even want to even see a video game at all. Right. And so it depends on who you are. But generally, at least everyone will lose something because like we always say, there is a price to pay for everything. And so for me personally, I have lost a lot of things, and I've lost interest in a lot of things. And so when I say that, not just coming from my perspective, but knowing my friends, my colleagues, at least everyone might have lost interest in one or two things that they loved before reading the law. And that is how the nature of reading law is. You cannot escape. It's either you are choosing that or you are stepping out of your me.
Right. So can you mention some of the things that you had to make do with because you were studying law?
Oh, I personally, I used to listen to music a lot. But I remember the whole of this year, as far as I can remember, I went from January to the final day of my exam without listening to any music at all.
Hey, wow.
Yes, I know it's very difficult for me, but that's me. I used to watch some form of action movies. Now, even if you give me a movie to watch, it will be very difficult for me to even open the file.
Wow.
Yes.
Right. So what field of law did you venture into, and how are you going to use this to impact life? Now you are the overall best student, meaning that you're expected to do more, and as a lawyer, there is so much work already. So how are you going to impact life with the field that you ventured into?
Okay. Currently, let me say I am offering my PPH at Sapon Associates here in Kumasi, and we are more into dispute resolution.
Pardon?
Now,
could you come again?
I'm saying that currently, where I am, the firm I am working with, we are more into dispute resolution.
Right.
And so, I mean, as part of that, I need to make sure that everyone who comes in to seek our services will get the best. That notwithstanding, personally, in terms of the area I intend to venture into, I intend to read and specialize in information technology.
Wow.
Yes, because I'm currently there are technology is growing. There are a lot of information in the system, a lot of devices being built, cyber security, cryptocurrency, and in terms of having contracts, concluding contracts online. For example, you can just sit behind your phone and order something from Instagram. Someone, the seller, you may not even know. They all borders, and although typically based on contract, but then there is that aspect of information technology, or the technological aspect in that regard. And so issues of fraud often comes up most of the time. And so, I mean, I intend to go into that area in order to, well, as it stands now, in terms of our part of the world, the laws are not really much developed, so that I'll be able to help in contributing to development laws in that area as well. So, I mean, in terms of where I want to specialize, I want to go into information technology.
So is that going to be like a side hustle or a side work that you're going to do? Because I know when you're doing law and you're practicing law too, it becomes a bit difficult to do other things.
Do you mean in terms of my area of specialization that I intend to venture into, and the fact that I will be into litigation?
Right, yes.
So currently, personally, aside everything, and in terms of impacting on people's lives, I want to be an academic.
Okay.
That is the primary goal. I want to be in academia. The reason is I know a lot of people struggle through law school. People are unable to find their feet at the law school. Right. And so my one of my main aims, or one of my main goals, is to help these people to also navigate their way through their law school. Trust me, law school is very challenging. Mm-hmm. And so I will double as an academic and in terms of legal practice. And because at my very years of practice, in terms of I love dispute resolution. And so for me personally, I'll be able to combine the two, being in academia and also practicing of the law. There are a lot of people who are into that area as well, and they are doing well. And so it gives me the motivation that, oh yes, probably I can also do it and do it even better than they are doing it. And so that's it for now. Yes.
So what would you say to someone who wants to venture into law, who wants to study law? Maybe there's a JHS person watching you, SHS person watching you, who wants to venture into law. What is your advice to the person?
One, every aspect of our lives is regulated by law. What you eat, what you wear, the phone you are using, everything, even the conversation you are having as a stands now is governed by. Right. And so law is one thing that we cannot sidestep in our community. And so my very advice to everyone who intends to read law is that if you have in mind to read law, if you If you have in mind to read law, it is a great decision and a very good decision you have intended to take. But also note that it comes with a lot of challenges and a lot of difficulties. Just that you will be willing to accommodate and contain all those difficulties and maneuver your way through it. Once you will be able to do that, I think reading law is something that, for me, everyone should, if you have the opportunity, if you have the ability, you should probably venture into. It helps a lot. And for me, legal education should probably be one of the primary source of education we should have in our country. And for the very reason that it affects every aspect of our lives.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so while you were studying in the law school, did you have any strategies that made you the overall best student? So I'm asking this because you have said what you just said. The person needs to, venture into that field if there is the opportunity to venture into the field. So how can the person succeed? How can the person come out with the good grades that they would want to come out if they listen to your advice and venture into law?
One, having the mindset to read a program is different from being able to navigate your way through it.
Right.
When you enter law school, and of course, the moment you start, you cannot sidestep your maker. Like the very beginning, I said, for me, I always rely on the wonderful and magnificent God. That is the key to whatever you may want to achieve, being it reading law or any other thing. Two, because the program comes with a lot of pressure, you should be able to maintain composure.
Right.
And when I say composure, I mean your ability to be in control of everything that is going on around you, no matter how bad that it may be.
Yeah.
Three, personally, I learn from people. Anyone I interact with, anyone I come into contact with, I make sure I learn something from you, whether consciously or unconsciously. You may not. And then four, in law school, you can never do away with study groups. Like I said, I know people who are better than me, I know people who are best than me, except that at the end of the day, for whatever reason, the awards committee decided to crown me as the overall best. But it does not mean that I do not have people whom I study from. I have a lot of people in terms of one of my best friends, Emmanuel Boama, Senior Oliver Fobi, Penaman, who was last 2 years, who was the overall best student. He's my mentor. I have a lot of people I learn from. I may not be able to mention their names. And so if you enter into law school, aside God, aside being able to maintain composure, you should be able to learn from people, and you should be able to learn and unlearn. Basically, that is it. The more you are able to learn from people, indirectly, it's like a cumulative effort and a cumulative effect. By the time you realize you have it all, because if someone knows how to do A, one party also knows how to do B, you learn A from him, you learn B from the person. At the end of the day, you have A and B.
Right.
That's what distinguishes you from the other people. And so for me, I always say that in law school, you have to learn from the best.
Nice. This is very, inspirational. And I'm sure you've uplifted someone's spirit to venture into the field of law because, we've heard so many things about studying law. And the fact that you have come out as the overall best student in studying law would motivate or should motivate someone to venture into the field and know that if you have been able to accomplish that, they also have the ability to do the same. Thank you so much. So what is your last words for our audience?
Personally, I will say that anything that you put your mind to,
right,
you will be able to achieve it. As long as you work hard and you put in a lot of effort, you will be able to do it. Just do your best in every circumstance you find yourself. Sometimes your best may not turn out to be the best. It means that there is more room for improvement. Do not see that as a failure, but rather putting a lot of work than you were doing before, and you'll be able to achieve what you want to achieve.
Nice. Thank you so much, Ebenezer. We've had a wonderful time. I personally have been encouraged, I have been motivated, I have been inspired by your story. I mean, you've changed some perceptions I had about studying law. Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us on the InFocus segment.
You're welcome.
Right. So this is where we draw the curtain on this week's edition of the InFocus segment. You know, every week I come with amazing personalities. That means that next week another amazing personality will be here to inspire you and to motivate you. On the InFocus segment, we celebrate the achievements and contributions made by individuals and organizations to the educational sector. So get ready to learn more. My name is Anita Yayo-Akpeku. I'll catch you same time next week. Till then, enjoy learning, keep learning. Do you have anyone you want to celebrate in this month of November? Send details to us and let us wish that special person for you.
It's time to wish your loved ones well on that special occasion. Is it the birthday or anniversary of your child, friend, classmate, your schoolmate, your teacher, or non-teaching staff of your school? The all-new JL Birthday Wish by Ghana's #1 educational TV channel hits your regular classroom screen. And as usual, it is time for Jack to play and have fun. It has been made easy for you, and this is how. Send a picture of your loved ones. Add their names, school, and location, and a heartwarming birthday message. And finally, follow us on official Joy Learning TV on Instagram, like the JL Birthday Wish post and tag 5 friends. Send it to our WhatsApp line 0247 108 738. And voila! Your birthday wish will be aired on Joy Learning TV and all our social media platforms. Learning is made fun with the JL Birthday Wish. Joy Learning. Keep learning.
Now, to this week on the Career Trail.
This week on the Career Trail.
My mother had 7 children, and I was the only person who went to the university. But when I finished university, and then I was sacked from NET2, I had a taxi, and I have to drive the taxi. My mother was in pain. My mother was broken. And in secondary school, I was the school prefect. In the university, I was the rep for my class in Congress. I was very vocal. So a lot of people knew me, and then my name was slightly unique. The Listowell. So it was slightly, so a lot of people knew me. And I was driving taxi. Sometimes I would meet my fellow mates, and then you see they kept contemplating that the Listowell we know.
It's not a one.
No, life took me there. My wife was then at Achimota School. There was a taxi driver series on TV, and the theme song was taxi, and yet taxi driver Noribre. And my wife would go to school, and people will be singing it. I'm telling you, people will be singing it. She will come home and she will come and cry. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. A peck of pickled pepper Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper, where is the peck of pickled pepper Peter Piper picked? Hello, my name is Leslie Adolisto, Director of GH Media School and now GH Schools. This Saturday, I would be on Career Trail as I take you through the journey of moving from a taxi driver to a rector. So catch me this Saturday at 4 p.m. on Joy Learning, and let's learn more.
This is where we draw the curtain on Yedu News 360. I'll catch you same time next week. My name is Anita Yayo-Akpeku.